What's up, guys? This is Cory. Welcome to CNA Films and Animation. Today I'm going to be talking about another Best Picture nominated movie, this one from the year 2000, Traffic. Traffic was directed by Steven Soderbergh, and it starred Benicio del Toro, Michael Douglas, Don Cheadle, Luis Guzman, Dennis Quaid, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and this film follows three storylines that kind of interconnect in a way. The first storyline follows Benicio del Toro. He's a cop who is not 100%, he's not a crooked cop, but he's not like the best cop either. But he does try his best, and he's hired by a general who is trying to stop the war on drugs. And this general hires Benicio del Toro to take out an assassin who's planning to kill someone important, and he's hired to kill the assassin, basically. Second story in the film is Don Cheadle and Luis Guzman are two buddy cops. They're partners, and they're trying to track down this major drug dealer. In fact, they arrest someone near the beginning of the film, and then you find out that someone else was involved, and Catherine Zeta-Jones' husband is the guy who was involved, and he goes to jail, and she starts to find out through Dennis Quaid, what her husband was really up to, and Don Cheadle and Luis Guzman are staking the house. They're, keeping an ear out and everything, and now we go to the third story. The third story is kind of the big story of the entire thing. This one follows Michael Douglas. He's a conservative judge who is hired by the President of the United States to become the drug czar, and little does he know, he finds out that his own daughter, who is a top honor student, she's in a bunch of prestigious clubs and everything, is actually addicted to some pretty big drugs. And so he finds this out. He finds out that his wife knew about it for several months, and he's trying to, juggle his life, his work life with his home life, and he's not entirely sure how it's going to happen. This film won 4 Oscars, including Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Benicio del Toro, Best Director for Steven Soderbergh, Best Adapted Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. And it was nominated for one other award, and that was just Best Picture. So overall, this movie was an interesting film. It tackled 3 stories, and they all kind of intertwine in a very small way. And, it's an okay film. It's not one that I particularly loved, but, I appreciate a lot of the direction, and I appreciate a lot of the acting. The acting in this film is top-notch. First off, you have a bunch of, big-name actors in this. Each one brings their A game, and it's just a very well-acted film. The direction in this film is also very good. Steven Soderbergh is one of those directors that I seem to overlook every time he makes a new movie, but every time I see one of his movies, I generally, for the most part, really like it. And that's mainly his most recent stuff. Like, I watched Magic Mike, and I like that. And the one about Liberace was, I thought, pretty good. And, Steven Soderbergh, I think he's a pretty good director. It definitely shows in this film, but I don't think that every choice that he made in this film is exactly the best, if that makes any sense. First of all, I noticed that he used kind of like what's the word? He used different kind of shades throughout the film, and from what I read, it's to help signify the different stories. One with Michael Douglas, he had a tint of blue throughout. One with Benicio del Toro was more of a kind of a older yellowish look to it, and the one with Don Cheadle and Luis Guzman was more natural, and I can understand why he did it, but it just was a little distracting for me. Uh, you know, and also the film was a little hard to follow at times. At least for me, I got lost in who's doing, this for someone, and why is this guy arrested, and why are they doing this? Just kind of minor things throughout. It just kind of confused me a little bit. This is one of those movies that I think you have to watch twice, maybe even 3 times to get the full picture, which is somewhat similar to like Pulp Fiction, where you have to watch it 2 to 3 times to get everything about it. But overall, I did think that this was a good movie. It's not one that I probably would watch again. It's just one of those movies that I get the basic gist of it, and it's not one that I really want to revisit. Again, it's not a bad movie, it's just not one that I particularly loved. So, overall, I'm going to give Traffic a 7 out of 10. I appreciate the direction, and I really like the acting, but there's just some things that kind of took me out of the film a little bit, and, it kind of hindered the overall vote for, it hindered my overall enjoyment of the film, I guess. So tell me, guys, have you seen Traffic? If you have, what'd you think of it? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? What'd you think of the performances? What'd you think of the direction? What'd you think of the movie overall? Have you seen the miniseries that this film is based on? If you have, what'd you think of it? Does it follow closely? I mean, I haven't seen it, so, if you've seen it, comment below, let me know. Love to hear your feedback. If you guys like this review, be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. Be sure to check out our other videos. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And as always, I am Cory, and I'll see you guys in the next one.